he had read before that at a performance of yours in London, that the crowd was a bit too quiet, so he tried to provoke them with offensive language. He was expecting maybe the same thing here because Japanese audiences are known for their quietness.
Well, we played now 2 concerts in Tokyo, and the audience is nothing but quiet. So there is no need for that.
Oh, so you tried to provoke the London audience because they were too noisy?
No, they were too quiet. London audience is quite different from all other audience. They always pretend that they know everything and that they've seen it before. I don't believe that. So we get a bit pissed off when people behave like that.
I see. You thought they were being condescending.
Yeah. But also, we're playing here in Tokyo, and we come here with respect to people, and they can behave the way they want to.
You're impressed by all the Japanese you have learned, but why did you go to the trouble of memorizing?
Memorizing, it's not the question of memorizing, it's the question of learning. And whatever country you go to, you try to learn something, not memorize. This is the only thing I had the brains to memorize for last night's performance, same as like when we played in the Soviet Union and in Vilnius. There was the only thing I could memorize there was achu, which means thank you. But you write achu in Icelandic, it's like sneezing, achu. So that's why I learned that. Book. Yeah.
What kind of book was that? You don't have to go into any trouble.
It's something like it's like what you don't learn in Japanese textbooks. It's like a slang book.
Oh, I see. Yeah, people come here and learn stuff like good evening or good night, this kind of thing. We didn't think of
Now I don't know how to say konnichiwa, but you say only konnichiwa until 10 o'clock. Then after that you say konbanwa, and
so we did learn a little bit of that. But you want something a little more spicy.
No, I mean, if I went for the spicy thing, there are more things like, how's your hot ass in the book, so, I could have learned that, but, I said iku because I think it's, we try always to get to a certain stage when we're playing, and so, why not, tell the audience something which is relevant for the evening.
Yes, he was... one thing he noticed at the performance was your on-stage persona. It's very outgoing and friendly. However, the image he has gotten of you in the press, and mostly English press, is a more nervous, alienating type of character. Is that
of me personally or the band?
No, you personally in the press. Is that something they have invented?
I would think so, because I always, some people in England don't dare to meet me personally because they think that I'm aggressive and go, whammo, and just hit them. And also it's like my drink before a show and after a show used to be a Pernod, with like this Pernod and then filled up with water, but it doesn't change color when it's watered down. So people the writers that came to our gigs, they always thought I was dead drunk.
Oh, I see.
And so I had this big, like a pint glass of Pernod. They said I drank half a bottle of Pernod before a show and after a show. If I did that, I would be, totally pissed. Okay, I've done a couple of concerts very drunk, but I don't do that any longer because then I let the band down, and I cannot do that. And nobody of us wants to do that in the band. A lot of these press people, they come like 10 minutes to show time, and the last question I want to hear before I go on stage is, when was the band formed? And the last thing I want to hear when I get off stage is, how was the show? So I go away, It's energy still going on before and after, and it takes a while to go away to go. It's over.
しかもその歌うする状況が、he noticed like on stage that when you were doing the neko type.
Yeah, cat.
Yeah, cat said that York, is that her name?
Yeah.
She does it, it comes off as sort of adorable. But when you do it, knowing you're a poet and everything, it seems to have more significant meaning. At least that would be the best impression.
Yeah, but this song is true. This song is actually about a boy in Reykjavik. My ex-wife knew this guy, and when he was getting into puberty, he tried to fuck everything in sight. He tried garden poles and everything, and once he was caught trying to fuck a cat. And this song is about fucking a cat.
He noticed that at the show you were doing most of the talking. Björk almost said nothing. Is she a very shy person? Or is that just your role in the film?
No. Sometimes I totally shut up and she talks. It just depends on what kind of mood we are. Sometimes it's very difficult to... I'm gonna do something. We were...
You were saying sometimes you shut up and she doesn't.
Yeah, because sometimes it depends. Sometimes neither of us speaks. It's just the feeling that sometimes one has to go forward more than the other. If you don't really feel like talking to the people, but you feel like playing to them, so you concentrate differently, and we can't always, go all the time.
There are certain songs where you take the lead and other songs where Björk takes the lead. He was noticing that both you still stayed on stage though. Do you think that your presence is required there at all times for the Sugarcubes to be a band?
Well, I'm not one for analyzing what the Sugarcubes are about, but we are a 6-piece band, and we are not like a jamming session. We're a 6-piece band, and how little it is that everyone does at one time in one song, it doesn't matter. They are therefore, it's relevant that they are still on stage, that they do not walk just off stage, like in a solo or something. And that we are at all times present at the concert, whether it's on stage or in the audience, able to contribute.
The impression that your role in the band is especially unique in that it seems that Björk does most of the lead vocals in terms of percentage. Often your presence there is sort of as you enhance the performance not by direct musical participation, but by dancing or whatever. So he said in that respect you seem to be rather unique to the format. The format that you're familiar with.
Well, the only thing I can say, if he feels that, then I feel very gratuitous towards his feelings. But I would rather not like to analyze what I'm doing on stage because I'm part of the band. A lot of people unlike him, don't understand what I am bloody doing there in the first place. But I go there, we go on stage to give a performance, to give a show, and I don't want to take it any further than that in analyzing.
それ以上のものを何を求めているんでしょうか。
Live performance, he was saying, can be viewed like in three ways. One way is it's a forum for presenting material. Another way is to entertainment. And then the third would be as a means of communicating with the audience. He was wondering what live performance is to you. Does it go beyond that? Is there an extra element there?
No, it's not an extra. I think it's all of those. We try to make it. We try to make it as entertaining as possible, but not without, being clowns. Because a lot of people are clowns when they go on stage. We're not trying to be a rock and roll band. We try to entertain the people, but the people must understand that we are entertaining us and we are trying to entertain them, because the reason why we go on stage is trying to entertain ourselves, and if people want to be part of the fun, please be welcome, but otherwise we are not entertainers as such, but we like to entertain people. Go on stage, and I was doing an interview and Magga said I go as a tomato. Magga, one of the band members, she said she would go on stage as a tomato. And I said I'll go on stage as a miso soup. And they didn't understand it. We just walk on stage like we are. I played in this shirt yesterday. I'm still wearing it. Yes.
I quite understand the first part.
No, we were asked how we went on stage, like as entertainers, if we had stage clothes. And we said no. Well, yeah, I go on stage as a tomato soup, and Magga goes on stage. No, I go on stage as a miso soup. How does a miso soup look like on stage? People just, they can't grasp it. That we are what we are, and we try to entertain and be entertained.
The audience means you. They just.
We are there for the audience. The audience is not there for us. That is what keeps us alive, is that we've got people to play to.
One of the, part of the band's allure is the fact that you're all very different. It doesn't seem like you could fit together into a band. You're all very unique, and yet, when you come together, it does form a very attractive unit. What pulls and holds you guys together?
Possibly that we speak the same language and we think differently, even though we are 6 people. Also, we have got this strange sense of, what's it called? Not like a mafia, but we got this sense of loyalty, and we are now in this deep shit together, and nobody of us wants to be the first rat of this sinking boat.
When you said speak the same language, what did you mean?
Icelandic.
Oh, you just meant the actual.
Yeah, the actual language, which means that we grew up together.
Yeah. It's just once said in an interview that you guys are always opposed to each other's opinions, to clash for everything.
Shall I comment on that? I mean, we all have got a different opinion of each other. From each other. And we don't try to impose our own opinions upon each other. But when it comes down to that we go into the garage, we know that we have to play and do our music together, so we do that.
それは言えることかもしれないけど、this may be somewhat similar to your situation, but the Irish band, Hot House Flowers,
Yeah.
Commented that they could not go on if even one of the members left the group.
Yeah.
So I guess it would be the same.
Yeah, if somebody left the group, then we would not be the Sugarcubes. We are a pretty close-knit society in itself, and if one or two or three wanted to quit, then everybody would realize that this would be the day, and we would stop with no regret.
Probably the best example being the police. We're more like business-like, it seems, in their operations. Everything is business, and they can kind of carry on Sugarcubes simultaneously with the band. What do you think of bands like that?
I just think good luck to them, but our operation is a little bit bigger than that, because we are involved so much in Iceland with putting out poetry, other bands and things like that, so we do that at the same time. Okay, we might sound business-like, but we spend our free time talking and working with people that we know that are doing good things. The police are no longer. They probably will do a reunion tour in 1994. Good luck to them. I'm not gonna go and see them, so they can fuck off. But we are just involved in so many things. We've got our own company, so we just try to do everything.
Band represents to you the type of band you would never want to be like.
The Sugarcubes.
So you're saying it's an unfortunate situation?
Yes. A very unfortunate situation. No, I mean, I'm quite happy. But there's no one band. I just feel sorry for loads of bands because they've got trapped in the business. But it's unfortunate that I'm actually a member of the Sugarcubes, but I would not like to be in any other band at the moment.
The Japanese fan, Japanese listener, you seem the same as any other band. You talk about there being bands caught up in the business that you feel sorry for. What exactly is the difference between you and them?
We live in Iceland. We're an Icelandic band from a nation of 249,000 people, and we are the second Icelandic band to be able to play in Japan. We have traveled the world, and what sets us aside is our music. And after this tour here, we'll go back to Iceland, so people will never hear of us again unless we want to go abroad again. So for all the Sugarcubes fans or whatever who like our music, they will just have to be prepared that we will just vanish. We will no longer be here. And that sets us apart.
No, that would be the same with any other band. Because once they leave, they're gone too.
Yeah, but at the same time, we play good music, and we respect people. We don't come and say, fuck the Japanese, fuck the Yugoslavians, fuck the Portuguese. We come and say, hello, I try to learn words in Japanese, and I think that sets us apart from a lot of bands.
そういうでその2つが
wants to know if this assumption is correct. It seems like the band, actually you guys are more, you're not just partners in a band. For example, Björk is married to one of the other.
No, she used to.
Oh, used to be. She used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, there are personal relationships within the band.
Yeah.
Do you think that those personal relationships contribute to the originality of the music? What makes the music so special?
No, not really, because it's just typical of Icelandic relationships. Because half of the nation is married and family ties are very strong. And so I think it's just a part of that we are brought up by a close-knit society. And we are, but in a different kind of way, because we've always been regarded as some kind of mutants in our musical developments.
You mean regarded in Iceland?
Yeah. Well, people said to us, people have always known about us, but they have not listened to us. But now when people are getting that we are getting played abroad, they tell us we always knew that they would do it, which is called basically hypocrisy.
Oh, I see. Was something about a marriage of yours recently?
Me and Bragi?
Yeah.
Well, okay, I'll explain that. You were just asking about if we were close in the band.
Well, I'm just asking for personal relationships.
Yes, okay. Me and Bragi, we were traveling, we were doing a tour in Copenhagen, Denmark, and there you can marry a man.
Right.
So we decided that we should get married, me and Bragi, because we realized that we'd known each other for 15 years. He's gone. For 15 years, and we had never ever argued. So we thought that would be the recipe for a perfect marriage. So we applied for marriage license to each other because we thought it would be the perfect marriage. Unfortunately, we couldn't get married because we didn't have because I'm divorced. We couldn't get the right papers. But this is how far our friendship extends. That we've known each other for 15 years or less. So we've known each other for a very long time and known of each other for a very long time. And that's possibly reflected in our music. We know each other's limits. And we don't abuse each other.
So he was just thinking that was just one example of what he was talking about, the Sugarcubes being more of a personal unit than just a musical unit.
It's totally, from the beginning, more of a personal unit than of a musical unit. I think the way we play music is more to do with what we don't want to hear. When we listen to the radio, that's kind of music we don't want to hear, so it's better for us to make it. And we, as old friends, we've got, different tastes in music, but still at the same time we know what good music should sound like. Therefore, we play what we play.
A side of the band that accounts for the type of music we do, maybe the fact that you're also several of you are artists, poets. That contributes to the uniqueness of the music also.
Artist or not artist? That is the question.
Artist or what?
Artist or not artist? What we do is the least thing that we want to be labeled as is musicians. So it really is very hard for me or us to say that we are poets. We have to put down in the immigration that we're musicians, but that's the least thing that we want to have sort of stamped like.
What would you like to be stamped?
We're just people.
Put down something?
Yeah, we're not hippies, but we just do something, which some people find difficult to do, and that's not to express ourselves. Which, when we play Sugarcubes music, we are the Sugarcubes. Nothing else. We're not playing cover versions of Grateful Dead or anything.
Not yet.
We might.
I think he's trying to negotiate with
Ken.
you know this guy here?
Yeah.
He's trying to
Do you want to translate this?
this gets translated later.
Yeah? Okay.
それはミュージシャンっていうレッテルね、貼られたくない。こういうことをやってるのはシュガーキューブである。
ちょっともうそろそろなんですけど、撮影どうするんですか？ちょっと今ちょっとトイレ。
じゃあちょっと頑張って頼みましょう。大事な
カメラもこうなっちゃったんで。でちょっとその後ですね。次の曲です。まあさっきからアイスランドとか出てきて、アイスランド話に単純に聞きたいんですけど、まずすごい狭い国だけど、もう今や街歩いてサイン攻めに合うような感じになっちゃったんじゃないですか。非常にミーハー的な話なんで、なんでそのアイスランドにこだわるんですか？例えばその地域的な特殊性を打ち出しすぎると世界的には理解されない場合もあるし、音楽っていうのはまあそういう地域性とか超えて理解されなければいけないものとして一つの考え方としてあるわけで、そういった部分で不利じゃないかと。あといわゆるまあポップミュージシャンの場合、
it must be kind of hard for you to get around because Iverson must be quite well known.
Yeah, well, the thing is that back in Iceland, we could play it up that we were famous abroad. And when actually this thing started, people really wanted to do that, but we didn't allow them, because one day we will not longer be in the Sugarcubes, and none of us wants to be pointed out in the street as saying, ha ha ha, that's one of the Sugarcubes. They used to be a famous pop band. So we never allowed anybody to play it up that we were famous abroad or anything, or that we were doing these tours.
But I mean, obviously, people back home must know what's going on.
Yeah, but it's a bit like, very polite. People leave you alone unless they're very drunk. Then they suddenly want to talk to you. But after that, then they don't do that.
People from Iceland are like stoic and quiet. Like, I guess we have images of people from Scandinavia.
Yeah, but we're not from Scandinavia.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
part of the world, but
Yeah.
it's the same.
Yeah, no, we're not very stoic, but we respect each other's privacy.
I remember like reading once about how Swedes like really hate it when you behave like ostentatious and you pretend like you're.
No, that's just the nature of the Swedes, because they are boring.
They don't like flashiness. But people from Iceland are a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little more flamboyant.
No, I mean, look at us. We're not flamboyant as such, but we know how to have a good time.
The other question he wanted to ask you was, do you think you could be at a disadvantage keeping yourself located in Iceland? Would you be too far removed from the rest of the music world and become out of touch with what's happening?
Now I must come back to you on one question that was put to that you asked me before. How can we still remain the Sugarcubes? How does the Japanese audience realize that we're something different? That's because we stay in Iceland. We are distanced from the music industry. We've had so many questions of oh, you have got so much recognition. How is it to live in London? We said, we don't live in London. Oh, how is it then in New York? And then we answer, we don't live in New York. We still live in Iceland. And people don't believe that. So our disadvantage is to be away from the industry. But that's the beauty of it. Therefore we can come in and create havoc and then leave.
Is there any disadvantage to staying there?
There, yeah, terribly high airfares.
Well, that's only if you want to leave.
Yeah.
As long as you stay there.
Yeah, no, but all the tours and press trips we've done, it makes a difference, A few shillings make a pound.
そういうインパクトが選手にかかれます。
You had said in an interview before that you were very interested in the Kurosawa film.
Yeah.
Rashomon?
No, not me.
Yeah.
I never seen Rashomon.
Okay.
オニババっていうらしいです。
Tampopo,
ラション。
Tampopo,
Tampopo.
Tampopo, and another film called Onibaba.
And did that make you interested in Japan at all? Or
No, but I must admit that all of us, we have seen Japanese movies, so we know of Japanese culture. And
having come here, did you sense any gap between what you had known?
no, I mean, yeah, of course, but it's the cultural shock.
欲しいですけど、これ今いないんですよ。
I think that was pretty much the last question.